Yep. Let's bring him on out. This is a guy who has been a comedian for a very, very long time. Originally, I think he's originally from St. John, made his way all the way to the Yukon, and now he's back here to make you laugh. Anyway, please put your hands together and give a warm welcome to Ken Bolton.
Yay, Quispamsis! Oh, I thought I'd never be able to pronounce that. This is a breakthrough moment for me. I was brought up by very strict parents. I was never allowed to go into a pool hall. But it's 2016. I'm 72, they're dead, so fuck it. Rack them up, let's have a party. So I have two older brothers. Anybody else here have older brothers? Isn't it great having older brothers, except when they're kicking the snot out of you? Yeah, my oldest brother taught me some of the coolest shit I've ever learned. Like, especially where boobs come from. See, the way he explained it, girls are trained from birth never to fart. So they just kind of keep it all in there, right? But that methane has to go somewhere. It wants to expand, so it turns into boobs. Yeah, and you have to be really careful handling them, because if you puncture one, she's going around the ceiling like a collapsing balloon. Well, farts. It's true. I've been married 4 times. I can tell you, women do not ever fart. If there is ever a silent but deadly that wafts through the dining hall, it is the dog or one of the servants. Because her ladyship would rather be caught humping this table boy than cutting the cheese. And for the life of me, I don't know how they do it, for God's sake. I mean, they eat the same stuff we do, they drink the same beer we do. Hey, look at that one sucking it back like she's been in the Gobi Desert for a month. Yeah? But they just never fart. Now guys, it's a little different. Guys love to fart. Now let me rephrase that. Guys live to fart. In fact, it starts when we're little infants in the bathtub, and that first little bubble comes up and scares the hell out of us, right? Then the second one comes up and ooh, we start to laugh, and then the third one arrives, and we reach out our little tiny baby hands and we grab hold of it because we gotta show Mom what we just did. Oh shit! And then we start growing older. We learn about mouth farts, and of course, hand farts and armpit farts. And for a 9-year-old boy, is there anything funnier on earth than a whoopee cushion? I ask you. I remember that time in grade 6 when you and your pals put a mason jar full of farts on the teacher's desk? Frickin' hilarious, man. But best of all, of course, is the fart lighting contest. Now, is there any man here in this room who has never taken part in a fart lighting contest? Let me see it. See your hands. Good, you have an honest crowd tonight. There is no man in the audience who has not taken part in a fart lighting contest. Well, for the women in the crowd, who of course do not appreciate the art of the fart, the purpose of a fart lighting contest is to see who can produce the longest, brightest flame with the best hang time. The objective, of course, is to produce a torch that would make the Statue of Liberty turn green with envy. So, the night before a fart lighting contest, you beg your mom for bean burritos, all the bean burritos you can pack in, right? And the next morning, you're heading out to the field of honor, and you walk like this with your butt cheeks clenched, because you don't want 1 cc of that precious rocket fuel slipping out too soon. And finally, it's your turn. You assume the position. Rookie, that's not the position, because flame rises and flame hurts, right? The best position for a fart lighting contest is lying on your back with your knees up against your chest and your sunny side up, right? Then you grab your old man's Zippo, spark her up and let her rip. Except for one thing. You completely forgot the pants you're wearing that day are made of 100% polyester. Oh my flaming Jesus. And you get home and your mother asks what's going on, and of course you start making up all sorts of crazy bullshit about how you and your pals were sort of playing around by the railroad tracks and a train came by, you know, and it made a spark and it started this big grass fire, and you and your buddies almost got toasted alive, but you fought it and you put it out and you saved the town, and your mom says, fart lighting, huh? Because you have 2 older brothers. Ah, well. Unfortunately, I found out recently that my semi-professional career in farting is about to come to an end because I have cancer of the ass. Oh, no, it's okay. It's mine, not yours. Now, I'm not absolutely sure about this, but I think I caught it off a toilet seat at the Rothsay Commons. That is a lie. That is a lie. I only said that to piss off that woman who wants to turn, you know who I mean, wants to turn Rothsay into a museum dedicated to 1930s pop culture. Now, I've never met her. I'm sure she's a lovely person. But I'm also pretty sure that she could beat Sarah Palin in a batshit crazy contest anytime. But yes, it is true that I have cancer. But the upside is, it's also true that I just got my first tattoo a couple of weeks ago. Oh, how cool is that for a 72-year-old guy, eh? Yeah, in fact, I didn't get 1 tattoo, I got 3 tattoos. I got one right here, and 1 on each hip. And what they're for, you see, is for the radiation techs to triangulate their fire when they're zapping me with their death rays every morning. But it's only 5 days a week, it's not really that bad. But there's something I can't quite figure out, eh? New Brunswick is piss-pot broke. But our medical people, God love them, they can zap something the size of a quarter that's hidden in the heart of darkness with pinpoint precision. The United States of America, with all their trillions of dollars and their military power, can't even take out an ISIS compound without knocking down a fucking hospital. What's with that? Well, in addition to the radiation, I'm also on chemotherapy, which is great. I get the privilege. They gave me this fancy little pack to put the bottle of poison in. And it's really just a bottle of poison chemicals that runs up through a tube into my arm and down in near my heart, and it basically is destroying my immune system. I call it my portable AIDS kit. That's okay. It's sick. I'm allowed to get away with this. You do get some interesting side effects from chemotherapy, I'm starting to find. For one thing, I normally have a voice that doesn't sound like Granny Cratchit. There's some skin things, there's a whole lot of other things I won't embarrass myself or you with. But one thing that really blew me away was Christmas Eve. I forgot I wasn't supposed to drink when I'm on chemo. I forgot, conveniently. So I had this monster fucking eggnog with about 1.5 quarts of rum in it. Oh man, I had hallucinations I haven't had since 1969. It was fucking awesome, man. Ooh. They tell me, well, of course, soon I'll be getting some other things. I'm going to start losing my silken tresses. But that's okay, because that means I can maybe steal a couple of Shane Ogden's gigs. Some other things may happen. They tell me, for example, I'm going to experience something called chemo fog. Do I give a shit? I live in Mordor. What's a little fog? Besides, it just gives me an excuse for saying, oh, sorry, I forgot to do the dishes and shovel the walk. Anyway, well, I've got about a month to go of this fun and games, and then after that I'll find out if I go to the next level. It's sort of like Price is Right or something like that. And the next level, of course, would be surgery. A little procedure they call a colostomy. My friend Troy has already mentioned it earlier. If you're not familiar with it, what happens is they snip a piece out of your colon, they stitch up your arsehole, and then they rip you a new one right about here. It's kind of like tapping a maple tree. Only they're not looking for syrup. And instead of a bucket, they hang a Ziploc bag on the spigot, and that's where you're going to crap for the rest of your life. Which is really a nuisance, because that means when I take the dog for a walk, I have to remember, bag for the dog, bag for Kenny. What a nuisance. But really, I like to look at the positive side of things, right? I'm not that worried because, look, I'm basically straight, so it's not going to mess up my sex life that much. Really. Maybe I can make a few bucks at Rhoda's by selling off my collection of vintage Armenian butt plugs. I can give up my Costco membership because who's going to eat that much toilet paper without an asshole? But then I get to thinking, trouble is, I'm a guy, yeah, I'm almost finished. I saw the light, Mark. I saw the light, brother. I'll be joining you, Jesus. Anyway, sorry, where was I? Chemo fog, that's where I was. Anyway, I'm not too worried because I always like to look on the positive side of things here. See? So I think it's not a big deal if I don't have an arsehole anymore. Because I can see a career opportunity here. I really can. If I could figure out how to insert a tiny chanter and a set of drones on that thing, I could become the world's first colostomy bagpiper. I could make $1 million farting Amazing Grace on the concert stage, I tell you. Okay, I'm going to wrap up and just say the other thing that makes me not worry too much about it, the kind of cancer I have is actually just a form of skin cancer. And we all know how you get skin cancer, right? Too much sun, not enough sunscreen. Well, if the worst happens, I am going to die happy. Because I know something that you guys don't. And that is, I have proof the sun shines out my arse. Hey, Quispamsis, it's been a lot of fun. Keep your sunny side up. My name's Ken. See you again sometime soon. Bye.